Hello students and namaste everyone. I am Dhaval sir and our today's topic for your standard 9 social science is chapter number 5 movement towards independence part 2. Students, in our previous lecture we had seen about the introduction of the chapter, right? How the Britishers they had taken control over India, how the Britishers how the Indians they tried and made efforts to fight against the Britishers through different movements, right? Again we had seen about the Simon Commission, then we had seen about the Nehru Report, then we had again seen the movement for complete independence, right? And later on we had seen the Dandi Yatra which was started by Gandhiji. Okay, so these were the points which were discussed in the part 1, and today we'll proceed further with the remaining part of the chapter. So let us read out the chapter and try to understand the chapter in detail. Okay, so let us begin. Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Round Table Conference and Moratorium of Satyagraha, right? So pact means what? P-A-C-T, pact means agreement, right? Then again round table conference, right? So it is very famous thing, right? So whenever again the conference or the meetings used to take place, it was a huge hall, right, like auditorium where round table conference used to take place, where all the discussions and the meetings were held. Then next is moratorium of Satyagraha, right? So moratorium means what? A time when a particular activity is not allowed. A time when a particular activity is not allowed. So moratorium of Satyagraha. So let us find out what is given in this paragraph. Gandhiji was called upon by the Britishers for the round table conference related to the constitutional structure and reforms, right? So we have already discussed that after the Second World War, the Britishers, their hold on India was getting liberal, right? They had understood that they won't be able to control the Indians the way they used to control them way back or years before or before the World War, right? So the Britishers, they had called Gandhiji. Why? Because they were planning to give India a dominion status. Again they wanted to frame the constitution for India, but again we had seen that for that they had appointed Simon Commission, and again in that Simon Commission no Indians were included. So the Indian people, they had opposed the Simon Commission, right, through different means. Then later on we had also seen the incident of complete independence and the Satyagraha, Dandi March Yatra, right, and the Satyagraha movement by Gandhiji. So later on Gandhiji was called by the Britishers, right, because the Britishers, they had understood that Gandhiji is having much influence on the Indians, and for that they had invited Gandhiji. So for what they had called Gandhiji, the reason is they had called Gandhiji related to discuss with him related to the constitutional structure and reforms of India. So first round table conference was held, but with the absence of Congress leaders, it was futile. That means what? Along with Gandhiji, other national leaders, Indian National Congress leaders were expected in that round table conference, but none of them attended that conference or the meeting, and therefore it became futile. Futile means what? Ineffective. It was just useless, right? Because if any meeting is held, if the members they are not present, the discussion cannot take place and the conclusion cannot be arrived. Okay. To reconcile with Congress, a pact between Gandhiji and Irwin was made, which was known as Gandhi-Irwin Pact, March 1931, right, in which permission of free collection or manufacture of salt, by persons near the sea coast and permission of peaceful picketing were the main points, right? So these were the problems which we have already discussed earlier in the first part, right? So on this matters, the things were discussed on the round table conference with Gandhiji by the Britishers. In the second round table conference, Gandhiji was the only representative from Congress, and Britishers had discriminating points for various religious committees, to which Gandhiji was deeply disappointed, and therefore the conference was dissolved. That means in the second round table conference, again only Gandhiji was present, and many points were discussed by the Britishers which were not appropriate. The points were such, by looking at which Gandhiji realized that these were the points which actually divided the Indians on the name of religion, right? So he was much disappointed with this kind of behavior of the Britishers, and he did not accept anything, and ultimately the meeting was dissolved. That means it ended up. Next is Quit India movement, right? Keeping in mind the World War situation, the Congress Working Committee decided to end the individual satyagraha, right? Keeping in mind the World War situation, the Congress Working Committee decided to end the individual satyagraha. That is in January 1942. The British government attempted to deceive people of India. Deceive, D-E-C-E-I-V-E. Deceive means cheat or bluff, right? To cheat. In Gujarati we say chetarpindi, that is cheating. So the British government attempted to deceive people of India by Cripps mission. Now what is Cripps mission, right? So actually the Cripps mission was formed with an objective. The objective of Cripps mission was actually, I'll just read out the points of Cripps mission. It is not given in your textbook. So with what objective it was started, I'll let you know. Cripps mission recommended to make India a dominion state after the end of the Second World War. So again we all know that what is the meaning of dominion status or dominion state, right? So they had given a kind of recommendation by Cripps mission that they wanted to make India a dominion state. That was the first point. Then the second objective of Cripps mission is to frame a new constitution for India, and for that a constituent assembly would be constituted, and that constituent assembly will be formed with the help of the elected members. Okay, and the third objective of Cripps mission was the provinces which did not agree to the constitution, right? That means when they will form the constitution, and the states, we all know that at that time India was not a united India, right? India was divided into small princely states. So at that time this Cripps mission had a clause that if the states, that is the individual states or the provinces of small states, if such state who are not agreeing to the constitution, right, so who did not agree to the constitution would retain their present position. That means they will not be part of the united India, they will remain separate only. So this is how, what would have, if this thing happened, what would have happened? The India would have never got united, and it would have been divided into small separate parts. So this thing was actually opposed by the Indians, because this was not again in the favor of the Indians, right? So it was against the Indian people and the unity of Indians, so they opposed it. Okay, so let us proceed further. So Indians were angry and dejected. So again, dejected means sad because of the failure or loss, right? Because the Cripps mission which they thought, or the Britishers which they thought is going to be sympathetic towards the Indians, they did not get such kind of behavior from the Britishers. Instead of that, the Britishers, they were trying to cheat the Indians through such kind of mission. Therefore, people of India no longer had faith in the British rulers. they assumed that the British do not wish to quit India, and Gandhiji advised the people to come out of despair. Despair means absence of hope, hopelessness, right? Despair means a person who does not have any kind of hope. So Gandhiji advised the people to come out of despair and be prepared to give a new and last fight. That means Gandhiji told the Indians that don't be hopeless, right? Be positive, and we need to fight against the Britishers, and we need to give them the last fight. That means it will be a fight after which the Britishers for sure they will leave India. Later on August 9th 1942, resolution of Quit India movement was passed in the working committee of Congress held at Mumbai, right? So resolution for Quit India movement was passed in Mumbai, okay, was passed at Mumbai. On the second day of the resolution, Gandhiji, Vallabhbhai Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, Maulana Azad and other eminent Congress leaders were arrested. That means these were the people who had made plans for the Quit India movement, right? So eminent Congress leaders, eminent means distinguished, or we can even use the word important, who are quite important, right? Later on, newspapers were banned because the Britishers, they became aware that if they will not become strict, if they will not control the Indians, they will prepare the plans, and if they are able to execute that plan, right, they no longer can stay in India, okay. So they tried to suppress that movement, okay. Later on, regional and district level Congress leaders were arrested simultaneously. That means newspapers were banned, prominent leaders were arrested, as well as at regional levels the other leaders who were working for the party, even they were arrested, okay. Arrest of Gandhiji and other leaders resulted in the nationwide strike, and to this Gandhiji said, "This is the last fight in my life, and therefore people of India should make all attempts to achieve independence." That means through these words Gandhiji tried to say that this is the last and the final fight, and we don't have to lose hope. We need to fight strongly against the Britishers, okay. He gave the slogan, "Do or die," right? So this slogan became quite famous at that time. Next paragraph is strikes during Quit India movement. The rural and urban regions of the country, including workers, farmers, youth, students, teachers, businessmen and women, were in the forefront of this movement. Forefront means they were leading, means they all took part in it, and they were the people who were leading the procession or the movement, right? Further, workers went on strike in factories. Those workers who were working in the British factories, East India Company or the British factories, they went on strikes. Iron factories in Jamshedpur and cotton mills at Madras too were on strike. 1 lakh mill workers of 75 cotton mill industries in Ahmedabad were on peaceful strike for 105 days, right? Colleges and schools observed strike. That means even the schools and colleges, they were closed down due to strike. For nearly 3.5 months, markets in Ahmedabad were closed. So we can just imagine for such a long period of time, the people, they protested against the Britishers, okay. Next paragraph, harmful activities during the Quit India movement, right? We all again know that Gandhiji believed in non-violence or non-violent activities, but again the whole nation was involved in this Quit India movement, right? So many places the people, they became quite angry and they lost their control. So in that, what they did, let us find it out. Anger against British government was being expressed from every nook and corner. Every nook and corner means everywhere, throughout the nation. Every nook and corner of the country. Suppression against peaceful people by the Britishers led to a violent situation, as people not only ransacked the post offices, telegram departments, police stations, railway stations, government buildings, schools and college buildings, railway lanes, pools, bridges and roads, but looted the assets and set on fire the government properties. That means, again, as I told you, that Quit India movement was started by Gandhiji, which was supposed to be a non-violent movement, and accordingly the people of India, they were fighting by or through non-violent means. They were just protesting, they were on strikes, they were on hunger strikes. So they were just protesting in a silent or without any kind of violent means, but the Britishers, they tried to suppress them, right? They used the cruelty, they used to beat them, they used to do the lathi charge. By seeing such kind of cruel behavior, what happened? The people of India, they got very much angry, and because of that, here it is given, they ransacked. Ransacked means raid or to visit the places and loot it. Okay, so ransacked the post office. That means they reached each and every government buildings or properties. They tried to damage it, they tried to loot it, right? So this is how the people, they showed their anger. Further, in this railway incurred the heaviest losses. That means due to this kind of activities, the Britishers, the railway lines or the railway which was owned by the Britishers at that time, incurred heavy losses. In many of the areas, people used bombs to destroy the government buildings and properties. Okay, next page, that is page number 34. Failure of the government in crushing the struggle. That means the government, they tried each and every means, right, by hook or crook. They wanted to suppress the Indians, but they were not able to do it, right? So the government failed in crushing the struggles. How? Let us find out. The government tried to suppress the movement with hard hand. That means by using the cruel means. Okay, the struggle started from a small end to a large extent by ransacking government system. So already I have explained you in the previous paragraph. Ransacking means to raid, to go to the government buildings and to try to damage it or loot it. More than 70,000 people were imprisoned. They were put behind the bars or they were put in the jail. 538 gunshots were fired. 1028 people lost their lives, right? 3200 people were injured. Students were injured in gunshots, especially in Ahmedabad and Patna. That means we had seen in the earlier paragraph that even the teachers, the students and the common people, everyone were involved in the movement. So even the students, they got injured with the gunshots. That is what is written. A unique political consciousness was created among the people. The movement gave clear warning to the British government and a message to the world at large that India cannot be enslaved anymore. That means through this movement, the people of India, they gave the message to the Britishers, not only to the Britishers but to the whole world, that we Indians cannot be enslaved anymore. That means we will not remain or will not do the slavery of the Britishers in our own country. The struggle really signaled by the people of India to Britishers to quit India. That means this movement or this kind of activities were such which gave the Britishers a signal that the Indians won't tolerate any further kind of behavior or activities of the Britishers, and anyhow they need to quit India as soon as possible. The people of India now wanted full independence, not a dominant status, right? They wanted full independence. The amendment for dominant status was almost invisible by this struggle. Amendment means to make changes in the laws or rules or regulation, right? So the amendment for dominant status, that means the British government actually wanted to give the dominant status to the Indians, but the Indians, they totally forgot about the changes or the amendments in the dominant status. They now wanted only complete independence. After a struggle of 5 years, India achieved independence, right? So this is how the Britishers, they failed to suppress the Indians or to crush the struggle of the Indians. Moving ahead, right? So how did the Indians, they contribute or participate in this independence from the Britishers? Let us find it out in the next paragraph. Azad Hind Fauj and Subhash Chandra Bose, right? So Subhash Chandra Bose had even played a great role, right? Subhash Chandra Bose was born in Cuttack in Orissa state on 23rd January 1897. His father, Rai Bahadur Janakinath Bose, was a government lawyer in British judiciary. That means his father was working in the British judiciary or judiciary system as a lawyer. His mother, Parvati Devi, was a philanthropist. Philanthropist means what? A person who usually does donations and all, right? So a person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially by the we can say by doing donations of money for a good cause. So philanthropic or philanthropist means those people who are usually working for the betterment of the society, and they keep on contributing towards the society by their generous behavior like donations and all. Okay. Prediction was that this Bengali lad means a young boy, a boy or a young man, right, will become sincere servant of Britishers. That means the people that expected that his father is a government servant. So even Subhash Chandra Bose, he will accept the government job and he will become a government servant. Okay. But he went on to become a staunch freedom fighter. Staunch means very loyal and committed in attitude. Staunch, very loyal and committed in attitude. So he became a staunch freedom fighter against British Empire. That means wholeheartedly he fought against the Britishers, which was not expected from him, right? After passing examination with good marks from Calcutta's Presidency College, he went to England for further studies. He passed the very difficult ICS, that is Indian Civil Service. We know IPS and IAS, right? So they are the civil services. Again, the level of the exam is quite tough, and it's not a cup of tea for everyone to clear those exams, right? But Subhash Chandra Bose, he cleared those exams at 4th number, okay, and returned to Calcutta. Seeds of revolution were planted in his mind due to the insulting attitude and pride of the British professors at the Presidency College towards the Indians. So what is written over here is that when he was in his college days, when he was studying, at that time the professors, they were the Britishers, and the behavior, the biased behavior of the bias and the insulting behavior of the professors towards the Indians was the beginning. Those were the seeds which were grown, right, in Subhash Chandra Bose against the Britishers, right, when he was studying himself. Further, he was very much interested in Indian independence struggle. He became an active member of National Assembly. He joined the Swarajya Party in 1923. He soon became very popular leader among youths, right? He became a very popular leader. He was in the top in civil disobedience movement, and therefore jailed many times. That means he was always leading it from the front, and he did a lot of activities during the civil disobedience movement, and therefore he was many a times caught and put behind the bars, that is in the jail. Further, at the young age of 41, he was elected as president of Congress convention at Haripura, Surat, and showcased his ability. That means it was at that time when he was brought forward, he was elected, and he showcased what talent he is having, what skill he is having. He left the Congress as difference of opinion. Difference of opinion means the thinking did not match, okay, with Gandhiji. So what is written? He left the Congress as difference of opinion with Gandhiji had increased, right? Because Gandhiji had a different kind of thoughts and opinions as compared to the Subhash Chandra Bose. So he just left the Indian National Congress, okay. And he established a party, the Forward Bloc, the party established by Subhash Chandra Bose, which was known as Forward Bloc. To awaken plebiscite. Plebiscite, it means it is a type of vote to change the constitution or government of a country. Plebiscite means it is a type of vote to change the constitution or government of a country. So to awaken plebiscite against Britishers, he travelled most of the regions of India. That means he tried to develop the feeling of nationalism in the people of India against the Britishers, and for that he kept on moving throughout the country and even at different parts of the world. He was arrested under Indian Defence Code and imprisoned. During imprisonment, he was ill-treated, right? So he was not properly treated. He was imprisoned at his place of residence as his health was deteriorating since he was fasting unto the death. That means he had decided to fast. Fast, we all know what is the meaning, not to eat food, and what he had decided, unto the death, right? So until and unless his demands are accepted, he won't stop fasting. That was what he had decided. He travelled in the disguise. So disguise means what? Usually we have seen the people, they change their look by using different means, like wearing different clothes, sorry, then sticking mustaches, beard and everything, and they try to look different, through which the people could not get their original identity or personality. So that is known as disguise, okay. So simply disguise means give a different appearance in order to conceal one's identity, to hide one's identity, okay. In movies we have seen many a times the villain or the hero, they try to hide their identity, right? Okay, so that is disguise. So he travelled in the disguise of Pathan. That means he dressed up like a Pathan from Calcutta via Peshawar, Kabul, Iran and Russia. Later on he reached Berlin, Germany on 28th March 1942. Indians living in Germany gave him warm welcome. That means the people living in Germany, those Indians who were living in Germany, they welcomed him, right? He urged the people of India through Berlin radio to fight against British Empire. He also met Hitler, right? Because at that time Hitler was the dictator of Germany, right? So he met Hitler in Germany and discussed in detail about the independence of India. He then went to Rome and Paris to establish military unit for the independence of India and recruited 3,000 Indians in the foreign country. Ras Bihari Bose, a revolutionary living in Japan, chained all the organization and established Indian Independence League. What is the name given? Ras Bihari Bose, who was living at that time in Japan. So he tried to connect all the people who were living outside India, right? and he established Indian Independence League. To make India free, Azad Hind Fauj was set up. A presence of 100 Indian delegates from Malaya. So delegates means usually the representatives, right? Usually if the meetings and important meetings for the nation or the country is held at different parts of the world, so every time it's not possible for the leader like the prime minister and all to attend the meeting. So there are special people appointed for that who will represent the nation. They are known as the delegates. So delegates from Malaya. Malaya means it is the present Malaysia, right? That means the islands near Malaysia. Then Japan, then Sumatra and Java. Again they are the islands in Indonesia. Hong Kong, Borneo, again Borneo is a island in Asia only, right? Andaman, Burma, which is now Myanmar, were in the organization, and in that Mohan Singh, a war prisoner arrested by Japan, was also present. Moreover, Ras Bihari Bose voluntarily retired as a head of Indian National Independence League, right? So these were the activities which were done by the Indians for getting India freed from the Britishers, right? So the part what we have discussed till the time will end till here only, and still we need one more lecture to complete the remaining part of the chapter, right? So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for listening to me. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care of yourself. Thank you everyone. Bye.